On a day when many would have looked at the sea state and opted for a maintenance day, it was all systems go at Emirates Team New Zealand, who were determined to take their AC75 Te Rehutai out to experience conditions that the team haven't sailed before in Barcelona, in an AC75. For the team, it's now relocate to Auckland before the next event in Jeddah.
You guys went out in some pretty interesting conditions out there in the bay. It was very wavy. It was windy at times, and it was not so windy at other times. From your side, just describe things.
Yeah, it was a great day for us. We've only got a few days left here in Barcelona, and today presented some conditions we hadn't been out in before. So we want to get Te Rehutai and the crew out in those conditions, and yeah, we did that. Really successful day. Like you said, the wind was quite volatile, up and down, and yeah, just consistent messy sea state. It was a great test for the boat and the crew.
The chase boat went out with you guys on board just to have a look at it before you made the final call whether to go. What were you looking at in particular, and how close to not going were you?
Yeah, we'd actually been out early in the morning just to look at the waves, and then just before we left, the wind really came in as was sort of expected to, but it was in around about 20 knots. So the toughest part actually is around the breakwater. So we wanted to make sure we just get out of the entrance safely. So we were just checking that part. Made the final call to go, and got through there, and conditions were as expected out there. Real challenge for us and the boat, but huge amount of learnings as a group, and really successful day.
When you're flying the boat in those conditions, is it dramatically different to I guess less extreme conditions? Were you learning as you went today? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, you're learning every day, but those days are even more so. We all love it in those conditions, really pushing ourselves and the boat. We've got a lot of trust in the crew and in the boat, and to be able to push it like we did today was really pleasing.
Seemed harder to get airborne than usual, but once you're up, it looked relatively stable, although there were a few wobbly moments.
Well, thank you. We try. But yeah, we definitely had our moments out there. All part of the learning. So we'll look back at the data now and review. But all in all, a great day.
We saw some two-board downwinds. It looked like on one particular jibe, with the way the waves were running, you were doing that, and then once you jibed, you were able to, I think onto starboard, you were able to lift the windward board.
Yeah, there was times when we found it pretty hard to get going, as you mentioned before. So that was kind of the mode we found. But like I say, just learning all the time. And got plenty more to do, but pretty fun conditions, that's for sure.
Does this give you a jump on the other teams, the fact that you were out there today?
I mean, there's only a couple of teams with the big boat. These conditions, the big boats are obviously a little bit easier. It's something that we've sailed back home in relatively big waves. So it was nice to go and continue to build on that. We've got our program here, and we're trying to get the most out of every day we can. And today was a good day for us.
Final question: it was saleable as you proved. Was it raceable, do you think?
Oh, well, it's below the wind limits, and there's obviously that sea state factor in there. It'll be interesting to see how all the teams, and getting around the racetrack would have been difficult today. But I would have thought it probably was raceable, though. Yeah, right on the edge probably. So we just have to wait and see how that plays out, I guess.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water. October 27, 2023. On some days conditions can be marginal for a committee to lay on yacht racing. Today at the 44 Cup Alcaidesa Marina, there was nothing marginal about the wind strength on the Bay of Gibraltar. Despite the first warning signal for the opening day of competition being brought forward by an hour to 1100 CEST, already at 1000 conditions were exceeding the maximum 25 knot limit for RC44 racing to take place.
The forecast, we knew it would be a very windy day, but we were expecting that we could have a small window to do 1 or 2 races this morning, but it is too strong already. We have 25, 27 knots, and we know that it's going to increase, then we decided to stop today. Tomorrow is going to still be quite windy. Then we're going to keep the schedule for 3 races at 12. And we'll see. We will catch up the next days.
Yeah, the forecast today, it was like a bit lighter in the morning. So we had a chance to sail before 1 p.m. But at the end, the wind came earlier and there's no chance to sail. The wind is gusting 28 knots now, so no chance to sail.
This is the start of the 44th edition of the Rolex Middle Sea Race. Partnered by Rolex since 2002, the event is considered one of the world's most beautiful and challenging offshore races. An international fleet of 110 yachts from 26 countries are contesting the 2023 race. Following today's start from Grand Harbour, competitors will tackle the 606 nautical mile, 1,122 kilometers course, which comprises an anti-clockwise circumnavigation of Sicily before finishing back in Malta.
Breathtaking scenery and relentless competition. The Rolex Middle Sea Race. This year's race brings together over 100 entries from 26 nations to the Royal Malta Yacht Club.
Yeah, the mud is always unpredictable and the weather shifts super quickly.
The start line is incredible.
The 606 nautical mile course begins and ends in Malta. It attracts a perfect mix of Corinthian and professional crews who compete for the most coveted prize, the overall winner on handicap. Swiss entry Caro will be looking to carry momentum from their Rolex Fastnet victory.
We're feeling good this year. Now we're here in Malta, completely different set of circumstances, completely different set of weather conditions, and it would be absolutely amazing to pull off a result here.
But so too will the young crew aboard Red Bandit after their Rolex Euralia win.
New situation, new game. Normally we're good in light wind, so in the northern part of Sicily we expect quite a bit of a changing light wind situation. Hopefully we can take advantage. Let's see how it goes.
First to leave the stunning Grand Harbour were the multi-hulls, followed by 6 separate mono-hull starts, increasing in size at exact intervals. This race is set to be a meteorological puzzle for the entire fleet. The team that pieces this together and maintains their composure in this compelling competition will win the Rolex Middle Sea Race on corrected time.
We are Sailing Only Media. Please subscribe, share, like, and check the alerts bell. Ironic after a day blown off, as severe gale force winds battered the nearby Rock of Gibraltar, Day 2 of the 44 Cup Alcaidesa Marina started with barely a breath of wind. Fortunately, right on cue just before the appointed midday start time, the wind on the Bay of Gibraltar suddenly and forcefully kicked in with an offshore breeze stabilizing at 13 knots from 280 degrees.
After day one of the 44 Cup Alcaidesa Marina was cancelled as a severe gale blew on the Bay of Gibraltar, on day two the 9 teams are all the more eager to get racing. Among them is Noticia, skippered by Spain's own Luis Martin Caballero, and the local host team Peninsula Racing and owner John Bassadoni.
It's fantastic to have the home regatta in our marina here. It's just fantastic to sail with the Rock of Gibraltar in the background and all these ships, which is great.
With a westerly wind building into the high teens, Aleph Racing overtook Black Star Sailing Team to score the first bullet of the regatta, with Peninsula completing the podium. Race 2 starts dramatically, with Black Star successfully crossing the whole fleet on port tack. However, the race is abandoned on the first beat after a sudden squall hits the fleet, bringing with it 40 knots of wind. The race is resailed, with Black Star claiming its first ever 44 Cup race win. Peninsula follows in second, another consistent result for them, with Artemis racing third.
We felt really comfortable. We had a good practice race day yesterday with 2 seconds in the third. Chaos was nearly one of the first days we sailed in these conditions, but we find the best balance for trimming the boat and steering through these waves or choppy stuff. Definitely happy, and it's our first race win we had. It's the 8th event. First race win. I think it's not bad at all.
On the third and final race of the day, Charisma finally finds the form to win by a massive margin ahead of Artemis Racing and Peninsula. However, at the end of the day, consistent results see Peninsula Racing top the leaderboard on their home waters ahead of Black Star and Artemis.
We're very happy. We've sailed very well. It's very tricky conditions, a lot of wind. And yeah, all the way from Vasco all the way to the whole team has done a great job today and helped me to sail around in a pretty solid manner, and we're super happy with the result. But obviously it's just day one, and you know as best as anybody that this is it changes very quickly. So yeah, excited for tomorrow.
Stay tuned for more racing tomorrow.
Trained at the Olympic School in the south of France, Erwin Israel boasts an eclectic career and track record: cruiser racing, match racing, Figaro, circumnavigations of the globe. His experience is diverse and extensive. Dabbling in everything, this discreet sailor is also a formidable competitor. A fine tactician, an extraordinary trimmer, and a seasoned helmsman, Erwin Israel has managed to carve out a niche for himself among the very best, both on the water and on shore.
La Transat Jacques Vabre, c'est quelque chose. Moi, je le suivais sur le site internet les précédentes années, et puis là, je vais en être un des acteurs, donc c'est assez chouette.
30 secondes.
Look at that.
On surveille, non, il y a encore quelques minutes.
Yes, Dan, we did it. Ah, finally. C'est sûr que médiatiquement, j'ai jamais rien fait d'aussi fort, ça c'est sûr. Pour le grand public, personne ne me connaît. En 2006, j'ai pu faire la solitaire du Figaro cette année-là, j'ai adoré. C'est peut-être mes meilleurs souvenirs de navigation, certainement. J'ai fait des tours de Bretagne, des Cap Istanbul et une Transat H2R sur les années 2007-2008. Et puis après, j'ai eu d'autres opportunités. J'ai fait beaucoup de match racing aussi, je faisais des tours de France à la voile, donc je suis parti sur une autre voie, mais c'était pas forcément calculé. En fait, je suis allé là où le vent m'a mené, quoi. J'ai fait des trucs très bien avant, mais ça c'est le summum, parce que déjà naviguer sur des ultimes, c'est exceptionnel. Je pense que tout le monde nous envie. C'est tellement incroyable les sensations qu'on vit à bord. Moi, le double, je trouve ça extraordinaire, parce qu'en fait, tu as l'impression de faire du solitaire, mais tu partages tout avec quelqu'un, et puis tu peux t'appuyer dessus. Moi, je sais que si j'ai un souci, à tout moment, je peux m'appuyer sur Charles. Mais on vit quand même des moments de solitaire qui sont extraordinaires. La première course ensemble, c'est la Volvo de Groupama avec Franck Hamas. Le Groupama 4, c'était un bateau extraordinaire, mais par contre, la position des bannettes, c'était un petit peu laissé en arrière-plan. Et il y a une fois où je me suis réveillé vraiment très soudainement, et donc j'ai eu l'arcade percée.
Quelqu'un peut éventuellement appeler le médecin, je demande s'il pense.
On a appelé le médecin à bord, il a dit qu'il faut faire des points, sinon ça va pas aller. Et donc j'ai dit Banco, vas-y Charles, moi j'ai confiance, vas-y fonce.
2 tours autour du fil et tu chopes l'aiguille.
Et au moment où on allait commencer, il dit ah mais mince, comment on fait déjà?
Tu tires sur l'aiguille, on est d'accord. Tu passes à l'arrière? Ouais.
Je crois qu'il a cherché un morceau de carton pour essayer de s'entraîner à faire le nœud. Je crois que c'est sous le sourcil, je sais même plus quel œil c'était, je me rappelle plus, mais non, ça a été très bien fait. Quand Franck et Charles ont pris les clés du bateau, G17, assez rapidement ils ont fait appel à moi pour l'équipage. J'ai découvert un bateau fascinant, on a eu un Fastnet au coude à coude avec le massif de François Gabard. Depuis ce temps-là, je navigue avec eux. Alors au début, c'était surtout pour la navigation d'équipage, et puis petit à petit, je me suis impliqué de plus en plus dans cette équipe-là, avec l'analyse de perf en plus, quoi.
Parce que là, il n'y a que des temps canons.
Ce qui me faisait sourire, c'est la manière dont il a amené, parce qu'il a commencé d'abord à discuter, à dire que finalement, les ultimes feraient la Jacques Vabre, et au fur et à mesure qu'il m'annonçait ça, j'étais en train de comprendre qu'il allait m'annoncer autre chose. Je reste à ma place, mais par contre, je me démène au mieux pour montrer qu'il avait fait le bon choix. Et j'étais hyper ravi, j'étais super excité, et tout comme je suis aujourd'hui, j'ai hâte d'être au départ.
Kitefoil World Series Italy reached a crescendo of drama as the top 10 men and women contested the new medal series format in the south of Sardinia. Ultimately, the pre-event favourites, Max Marder and Lorian Nollet, prevailed to win gold in the men's and women's events, although there were plenty of twists and turns along the way.
Roleto Beach in the very south of the island of Sardinia. It's not just a beautiful place to visit. For kitefoil racers, these waters are among the best in the world. First and foremost, kitefoil racing is a feel sport. The rider has to feel at one with their equipment and how it interacts with the wind and the water. But some riders believe there's still more to be found by using technology and data to help them go faster. One of them is Kai Calder from the USA.
It's been really cool to see over the last few years. I feel like everybody views us as a bunch of surfers, kite surfers, and it's been really cool to get a little more technical in our sport and really try and drive into some of the numbers and, you know, almost transition from, you know, a feel sport to actually being more technical, looking at the data and, you know, almost becoming more America's Cup-esque.
German kite veteran Florian Gruber takes us on his journey from Traunsee in the mountains of Austria to the challenging open water racecourse of Sardinia on the Mediterranean Sea. Gruber's always searching for more from himself, whether it's learning to deal with unpredictable weather conditions or challenging himself with new adventures like wingfoil racing.
It's really unusual that you have just sea breeze days here. Usually sometimes the Mistral is blowing offshore really strong. So this year the Mistral is making a break, but yeah, I like it anyway how it is. Yeah, the thing is, like, we are heavy riders in the kitefoil class. For wingfoiling, to use smaller wings, smaller boards, it would be better to be a bit lighter, but yeah, it's more for fun for me. I will have a good time next week as well.
Brianna Whitehead's on a mission to put Australia at the top of the kitefoil racing scene. The silver medalist from Sardinia shares her thoughts on the competition, her feelings of joy and the dedication it takes.
I'm happy to come away with the second, and to get to fly the 15 for the last day of the regatta was pretty fun. I think a lot of the difficult things we train into they become muscle memory. I don't know, I think the thinking on split-second decisions while you're pushing as hard as you can and trying to work out where everyone else is would be the most challenging.
Lauriane Nolot, the women's winner in Sardinia, shares the thrill of victory and her passion for performing at such a high level.
I kind of have like always the same guys around me, so it's really interesting because I'm always like trying to like get the one in front of me. But no, it's really great. Like there is like the level in the fleet is so high, it's incredible. But yeah, it's good because like I'm always like trying to push my limits, and so it's really, really interesting.
Lorenzo Boschetti reflects on the tough conditions, his experience at the regatta and his aspirations to represent Italy at the Olympic Games.
Today was a really tricky condition. We had the wind changing direction all day long, so we've been super lucky to do all the races in the schedule. We had a beautiful condition all the week long. The first of all is to make qualification for the Olympics for myself, because we are 2 riders for 1 spot.
Maximilian Maeder, winner of the men's championship, shares his journey through a difficult race, the transition from Trounsey to Cagliari, and the personal growth this 17-year-old has achieved on the senior circuit.
So far it was okay in Trounsey because we had not the strongest of winds. It was much more tiring here, I believe. But again, it was important to manage the recovery, you know, going from one event and then to the other. So yeah, you had stuff to do to try and rest and recover. From the beginning, I believe that a good goal for me was always to have improvement and just keep on doing something a little bit better each time. And that's the goal, to always continue to pursue the sport.
IKA President Mirko Babini highlights Cagliari as a premier destination for international events and the challenge of staging back-to-back competitions in Sardinia.
This time we went for a back-to-back event. Kite Foil World Series now just ended, and then the Sardinia Sailing Cup with the Wing Foil World Cup in racing. We are in October, we have wind, sun and amazing condition in the water, in the beautiful blue water here in Cagliari.
As the kitefall racers continue to drive their skills to ever greater heights, their dedication, passion and competitive spirit provide a constant source of inspiration for others. We hope you've enjoyed this brief journey into their world. Stay tuned for more from the kitefalling world.
Days 3 and 4, the Bay of Algeciras had a complete change of complexion for the penultimate day of racing at the 44 Cup Alcaidesa Marina, with the southerly wind initially non-existent, then slowly filling into 8 to 10 knots. Going into the final race of the final day of the 44 Cup Alcaidesa Marina, just 2 points separated the top 4 boats, and with 9 points on the table, mathematically any of the top 6 could still win. Added to this was the venue with a third day of racing from a third direction, the east, blowing across La Linea. Crossing the line, the CREF team was ecstatic, complete with fist pumping and high-fiving.
The first day of racing at the 44 Cup Marina Alcaidesa was a big one, with winds ranging from the teens all the way to the high 30s. Today, with light winds forecast, proceedings on the water are delayed by an hour, waiting for the wind to fill in. Igor Lars CREF starts today well, winning the opening race. Remarkably, this is the first race the Slovenian team has won since Oman in February. They were followed by Christian Zura's Black Star and Artemis Racing. In race 2, a bold call by tactician Reiko Tabarez on Noticia to go right saw the new team lead for the whole race, only losing metres from the finish line for the experienced Black Star and CREF, leaving them in third. This was a superb result for the Santander team on the RC44 class's trial boat.
Well, it was a great call from the tactician. He saw it to the right, so he actually the start he just went to the right, and then from then you were able to sail on our own, and you gain confidence, and everything starts to getting better and better, and then everything ends up working. Of course, we have a lot to improve still in the maneuvers, but I mean we have been here 3 days, and this is a boat in which if you do the right tactical call and you have the right crew, prove that you can be there, even if you are maybe with handicap with the speed. But and that was the problem with the last leg, in which we couldn't hold the speed. But anyway, it feels incredible to be up there.
In the final race of the day, Team Aqua came first, followed by Aleph Racing and Peninsula Racing. After these 3 races, host John Bassadoni and his local team Peninsula Racing are still clinging onto the lead going into the final day, but are just 1 point ahead of Black Star. CREF follows closely, another 4 points behind, in turn 1 point ahead of Artemis Racing in 5th. Don't miss the final day tomorrow. Clouds, rain and a building breeze set the mood for a dramatic final day of the 44 Cup Alcaidesa Marina. With a wind in the high teens and rain, the first race of the day gets underway. In this team, Nika manages to get their first race win at this event, followed by Charisma, a usual top performer in strong winds. Aleph Racing finishes third. Meanwhile, overall leaders Peninsula Racing and Black Star Sailing Team suffer when they get buried. Race 2, Aleph Racing wins by a comfortable margin, with Charisma posting another second and Team Aqua third. With Peninsula and Black Star again posting big results, CREF takes the lead overall. But after 8 races in total, it is still insanely close. Just 2 points separate the top 4. Going into the last race, any of the top 6 boats can still win. In the final race of the event, CREF claims the left side to lead comfortably, securing both the race and the event win.
It was really great. We had everything. We had low wind. We had a really tough winds over 30 knots. Somehow, a little bit of everything. We start usually slow, but then we try to improve ourselves.
A second place finish by Team Aqua is not enough to elevate them to a podium position, nor is Team Nika's third. However, a 4th place secures second overall for Aleph Racing, this week with Pietro Loropiana standing in for owner Hugo Lepic on the helm.
Unfortunately, Mr. Lepic couldn't come this event, so I called Pietro Loropiana, that is a friend of mine that I knew is a good Majors 20 sailor. Never tried the steering wheel, but I think he got better and better during the event, and we're very happy with the way he went, because we ended up second in the event with a couple of extra mistakes. So we are happy the performance of the boat in the breeze, and was a great lot of fun.
Black Star manages to claim the third spot overall, tied on points with Peninsula Racing. This is the best 44 Cup result to date for the Swiss team.
It was an absolutely fantastic event. We had definitely everything from 8 knots up to 25 knots today I saw sometimes. And it was tough racing with a lot of wind shifts, but we get a good balance with the trim and the boat speed. So absolutely happy.
The fleet now sets sail for Porto Calero Lanzarote for the final event of the 2023 44 Cup. See you there.